Okay, we're now ready to start to fill in the next tab. One quick little correction. We need to make sure that that little inch symbol is in there with the diameter for the impeller, or else it'll just give us a funny number on the next page. So we now click the Site Data tab, and this brings us to our site data. A lot of the information is transferred over, hours of operation, it's all calculated out for you and everything. And again, anything in this light blue color is something that you can change. If you know your rebate amount per kilowatt, go ahead and enter it. Otherwise, we defaulted at 8 cents. The first two items here are for the heater during nighttime mode. This must equal 100%. Conservative estimate says 50-50. The heater's going to run 50% of the time, and 50% of the time it's not because the pool covers are on and it's at night and nobody's in it. The second half of this is if we're going to use the low bather mode and normal filter mode, these two have to add up to 100%. And in our case, we're going to not worry about the low bather mode, but we will keep everything during normal operation at 100% of the flow rate. The values here are calculated automatically for you based on the percentage you enter in this little section right here. So as you can see, normal filters 100% of flow, low bathers 80%, heater on at night needs to be at least 75. We found that out through many job sites and applications. Heater off, probably about 50%. This won't come into play right now. It's going to be for specialty stuff. So now we want to fill in the efficiency of the pump at these various flows. So now we have our pump performance curve that we're going to take a quick look at. And we're going to take a look at the different flow rates. So we've got, we jot these down, makes it easy, 550, 750, 800, and 1,000. So 8,000, we already know that's going to be defaulting at our design point efficiency. So let's see what our efficiency looks like at 550 gallons. So here's our pump performance sheet. Bring up that curve. Come down here, 400, 500, 550. We come up to the line, and looks like it hits it pretty close at 72%. 72 is what's in there. What a coincidence. Then we're going to pick up 750 gallons per minute. 750. That's somewhere, let's see, 700, 750, sort of between 78 and 82. Looks like about 80%. I do believe that's what's already entered in there. And 800 gallons per minute, likewise. Come on up. It's just under 82. Looks like 81%. So I think we're pretty good on those numbers. Next, we're going to scroll down a little bit. And the next blue box we find is our maximum performance for this pump. This is going to come off of the performance curve again. I'm going to go back up to the additional data sheet. And we're going to look at end of curve rated diameter. And it is indeed 1,345.2 gallons per minute, 51.56% feet of head at 77.52% efficient. Entered in those numbers already. Now, here's a little fun place to play with if you want. The pool, because we said it was open all year, is telling us that the pool is open for 52 weeks. And we're making the assumption that they run the pool pump motor 24/7. If we entered something on the site data collection form that said we were not open a full year, let me show you how that looks. Say we opened on May 31st and we closed on September 30th. Now when we go to the site data page, we're only open for 17 weeks. Then you have to ask the question, do you run the pump while the pool is closed, or do you run the pump while 24/7? If they tell you that they only run the pump when the pool is open, you just highlight that and change it to match the number of weeks. It will change the total hours of operation for you. I'm going to put this back to where we were. I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to fix that back to January 1st to December 31st. and everything's back to 52 and 52. The margin hours is a number you can fill in if you want to run the pump for any reason at all a little bit ahead or behind the nighttime mode. So if you want it to start up, say, an hour or 2 hours earlier in the morning before the pool opens, you just enter some hours here. You know, throw a couple of hours in, it'll calculate it all out, and you saw how it changes the total hours of operation for you. It's a little feature we have so you can kind of adjust and do it on the fly. The last part on this section here, it's got a couple of areas where you can adjust. So based on the valve positions, our factor's 10. That's based on standard stuff. If we find the valves are closed a lot, this number increases. If the valves are wide open, that number decreases. And the level to the surge pit is from the surface of the water to where the pickup is for the pressure reading at the filter, roughly 10 feet, give or take. And then it combines with the influent PSI, and it gives us the total head that the pump is operating at. So let's take a note there. 75 feet is about what we're operating at, and we are well below the 1,000 gallons per minute, so it's telling us to verify it with the pump curve. So let's go take a look at the pump curve, now that we know how to read one, and see what the flow should be at about 75 feet. Go back down here, 75 feet comes across, and we hit the line, we come straight down, and it's 720, 725 maybe. So that means that we're actually doing pretty good. All coming in from different sources that you cannot see on these tabs are the max NEMA full load amps based on the horsepower and voltage, and what the SPCS maximum amperage would be based on the horsepower and the voltage. Both of those are well over the 31 max full load amps that we got on the motor right there. So you get a good. Okay, that does everything you need to know to fill in the site data page.